What is this?
Eradication.
Clark Kent, feared lost in the Doomsday fight, is back home tonight, thanks to the keen eye of another Metropolis citizen we thought we'd lost.
I recognized Mr. Kent from his byline photo and brought him home. Martian Manhunter sounds nothing like me.
No, everybody says that.
Hey, I almost forgot. Connor's all settled. He said, "Thanks for the sweater, babe."
Aw, they're gonna eat him alive.
So, where did we leave off? Yeah?
You're late.
Right. Be there in a sec.
Oh, tell Lois I'll see her Friday.
Friday?
What is it?
Worlds colliding. Also, I have to go.
It's okay. I understand. I'll wait up.
Henshaw may be gone, but this was still the boldest move we've seen from Apocalypse yet.
Darkseid won't stay down for long, and we can't play defense forever.
Then we agree. We're going to have to take this fight to his doorstep.
Excellent. Count me in, team.
Okay, who left the front door open?
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Reign of the Supermen post-credit scene video. I'll also explain some of the other animated movies that are coming up. This very clearly tells you what the next movie is going to be in this continuity, but they're also adapting a couple other really big seminal Batman stories from the comics that you guys will be really excited about. We're still doing the DC Universe giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite Superman moment on the video. So first up, they explain how Clark Kent comes back because he's been gone this whole time. They thought that Superman was dead, but surprise, suddenly Clark Kent just disappears out of nowhere. So they have Martian Manhunter make himself look like Clark Kent with a beard, as if he's just been wandering around this whole time ever since Doomsday killed Superman. They're in the bar trying to pick up, and they're sort of foreshadowing the Lois Lane Clark Kent relationship. But if you guys don't remember, in this movie universe continuity, ever since Justice League War, Superman has kind of been a romantic pair with Wonder Woman. So this is just foreshadowing them having some sort of love triangle going on. Like, she says that she's going to be meeting with Wonder Woman soon. He says, ouch, worlds collide, because his potential new girlfriend or new flame is going to be meeting up with his old girlfriend. So it's just like a funny, awkward haha moment. He sends Connor Kent Superboy to live with his parents Ma and Pa Kent on the Kent farm, just like they did in the comics. Then he rushes off to meet with the Justice League, and they decide that they're not going to sit around and wait for Darkseid to try and attack them again. So the next movie is going to be, quote-unquote, Worlds Collide, so to speak, with them going to Apocalypse. So I'm assuming whenever they decide to make that movie, they haven't officially announced it yet, it'll take place mostly on Apocalypse. But the big reversal is as they're deciding what to do, Lex Luthor walks in his outfit from the Super Friends classic cartoon series and says, all right, friends, let's do this. Ready to go. There's a number of directions they could take that. Lex Luthor has been a member of the Justice League a number of different times in very different types of stories, but the last time he and Superman went to Apocalypse, Superman became the god of strength, and Lex Luthor got all these crazy powers wearing this Superman-looking steel-type suit, sort of an amalgam of his green Warframe from the comics, but painted to look more like the John Henry Irons steel Superman suit with a Superman symbol on his chest. Lex Luthor's still a pretty big dirtbag, so I think this is mostly a PR play on his part in seeking opportunity to steal apocalyptian technology when they're fighting Darkseid. So he will try to help out, but he'll also try to pocket some special technology while he's over there. If you're a longtime comic book fan and you actually read Reign of the Superman and the comic book events that came after that, you probably detected the Worlds Collide Easter egg because there's a very notable DC Comics run called Worlds Collide, and it was the crossover where the DC characters crossed over with the Dakotaverse characters from the Milestone comics. If you're not a big comic book fan, that's where the character Static came from. Most people know who Static is, even if they're not a big comic book reader. But the events of that crossover have nothing to do with what happened in this movie or what's happening in the next movie. It was just basically the worlds colliding because a single regular human character served as a conduit between them. They kind of did that with the Hank Henshaw character serving as a conduit for Darkseid to portal into planet Earth's orbit. But the big change that they made, obviously, is all the Darkseid stuff, because in the original Reign of the Supermen comic, it's still Cyborg Superman that's the big villain. Darkseid had nothing to do with it. Originally, Hank Henshaw just wanted to blow up planet Earth and kill Superman. He was only successful in blowing up Coast City, but what that did is it drove Hal Jordan Green Lantern crazy, leaving him vulnerable to Parallax, the soul basically of the Yellow Lantern Corps. So it inhabited him, he became known as Parallax, became a big villain, killed most of the Green Lantern Corps, and then in an attempt to reverse the damage to Coast City, tried to change the timeline in a big crossover event called 0 Hour. So Reign of the Supermen essentially led into 0 Hour with Hal Jordan being the big villain. Nothing in this movie indicates that they're going to do anything like that, though. It just seems like it's going to be Justice League versus Darkseid in the next film. The big change to Cyborg Superman is that he still dies in the shuttle accident. His wife dies. Darkseid makes a Faustian bargain with him to give him a new cyborg body that's half apocalyptian technology, like half Mother Box, like regular Cyborg from the Justice League is, but also half Superman's DNA. So his mission to kill Superman is still intact from the comic storyline, but the whole conduit, him having the Mother Box inside him, that's all brand new stuff for this movie. The whole love triangle with Wonder Woman and Lois Lane wasn't a thing in the comics either. He was still with Lois, came back to her after he came back to life. The Eradicator storyline in the movie was largely intact, still a Kryptonian AI that's dedicated to preserving Superman's life while he's regenerating. But the reason why he goes crazy and thinks that he's Superman is because he accidentally copies some of Superman's memories. So he's sort of like the Terminator version of Superman. He has none of his empathy or compassion for people. And at the end of the movie, the way they defeat Hank Henshaw is that Science Bro Superman, that's right, he actually does know a lot of science, figures out that he can trap Hank Henshaw's consciousness, or at least transfer it out of the cyborg body using a sun crystal and trap him using the Eradicator. So that's what's happening when he jams the crystal into his forehead. He's not killing him, he's basically just copying or uploading his consciousness into the sun crystal to keep him trapped for as long as he can. We'll see how long that sticks, because for a long time in the comics, Cyborg Superman just kept coming back. Eventually, he takes over the Manhunters race and becomes something of a Green Lantern villain while also still continuing to be a Superman villain and wearing his face because he still has his DNA. He becomes a part of the Yellow Lantern Corps. I'm hoping that at some point they'll do an animated Sinestro Corps war, but there's so much stuff that they have to do to lead up to that. Maybe they'll start to tease that out in the next couple of animated movies. But these upcoming titles that they've just announced are actually pretty exciting. So they've already announced Batman Hush in Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. If you don't know who they are, they're basically Legion villains from the 30th century. So it's a Justice League story with villains from the distant future. But there's also a brand new rumor that just broke in the last couple of weeks that DC is going to do an animated version of Batman The Long Halloween. Supposedly a 2-part film, but that's all I've heard so far. So if we get any details about that, I'll totally include it in a video. But let me know in the comments, since they're already doing these big Batman stories, what other comic book stories do you want them to turn into an animated movie that they have not already done? There'll be more DC, Marvel, Game of Thrones happening this weekend. A bunch of you have also requested a spoiler Dragon Ball Super Broly movie review. I've already done a non-spoilery one. You can click here to watch that, and you can click here for my brand new Young Justice Season 3 video for that new Batman family scene with the new characters. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.